Hi, everybody. This is Delana Cotton with the Cotton Home team at Virtual Properties Realty. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about what is buyer's remorse when purchasing a home. And we're going to go over some of the ways that you can overcome buyer's remorse as well. So let's get started. Typically, purchasing a home is one of the largest investments that an individual will do during their lifetime. With that, usually comes a lot of emotions. Buyers are normally very excited in the beginning. They've already gotten their pre-approval and they're starting that home search process. But as the process goes, sometimes buyers become a little stressed. And that stress can sometimes bring on buyer's remorse. So as a buyer, you might be wondering, what is buyer's remorse? And that is a great question. So basically, what will happen in some cases is that one minute you are very excited about being able to purchase a home. You're jumping for joy and you just want to tell everybody what is going on. So you're very, very excited. And then all of a sudden, you may come to the point where you're starting to become down and out with the process and how it's going. And as your emotions change, you might be saying, oh crap, what in the world did I just do? And that's okay. So we're going to go into a little bit here about more on buyer's remorse and how you can overcome that. The fact is, many home buyers, especially first-time home buyers, do find themselves in a situation where they may be having buyer's remorse. And as I mentioned, buyer's remorse can be with first-time home buyers or even for seasoned home buyers, those who have purchased multiple homes, maybe even up to 10. And buyer's remorse doesn't just happen with the home buying process. It can happen with any major purchase, such as purchasing a car. During this buyer's remorse period, some of the common thoughts that people have is, what happens if I lose my job? Am I paying too much for this particular property? What happens if I can't meet the repairs? And these are all common thoughts that people have during the home buying process. So no worries, you're not alone. So as a buyer, you might be wondering, well, what can I do if I'm starting to experience buyer's remorse? And that is a great question. What you can do is start talking to other individuals that may have gone through the home buying process. You might want to talk with your realtor, close family members, or friends. As you are going over how you're feeling about the home purchase, try to remain calm and, just go over all of your concerns and questions that you may have. The other thing that is usually very helpful is to know the strategies on how to overcome buyer's remorse. And we'll go into that now. As I mentioned, one of the first things that you can do is, have a conversation with somebody that you know and trust. That could be your realtor, it could be a family member or a close friend. While you're speaking with them, share your thoughts and your concerns on, what is worrying you about the transaction. For example, speaking with your realtor, could be a good strategy in that your realtor has seen this multiple times because, like I mentioned, it is fairly common for individuals going through the home purchase process to have some type of reservations. So if you decided to speak with somebody other than your realtor, just make sure that it is somebody who's actually not vested in the real estate transaction that you are getting ready to complete. That way, they can be open and honest with you. And by being open and honest, they'll be able to help you see the larger picture. Another key step in overcoming buyer's remorse is to make a pros and cons list. Many times when you're looking for that home that you just saw and may actually love might not have everything that is on your wish list, okay? And therefore you might feel that you're actually settling, and that can contribute to buyer's remorse. So making a pros and cons list about the given property can be very helpful. Now, when doing a pros and cons list, you're literally writing down all the positive and all of the negatives that are with this house that you foresee. Okay. So some of the positives might be that it has an open floor plan that you were looking for. It might be fully upgraded. The kitchen might have the granite countertops in there. But a con might be that it doesn't have hardwood floors throughout if you really wanted hardwood floors in the entire home, including the bedrooms. A con may be that instead of having a 2-car garage, it only has a 1-car garage. But by making this pros and cons list, it will help you determine if this particular property is going to be right for you and your family. Now, don't forget, when you are making your pros and cons list, include the tax benefits. If there's things like being able to choose your own paint colors, if the house actually needs to be painted. Maybe is the yard already fenced in if you already have a pet. That could be very important for some families. The other thing that you'll do with this list after you have compiled all of the information is use it, review it, and see if that helps you overcome some of the fears with that particular property. Now, the next thing that you can do is go ahead and review your list of nice to haves. This will probably coincide with the prior step of making your pros and cons list. So basically, you'll take that pros and cons list that you just made and you will begin to compare your nice to have items that you are looking for and see if you're able to check off as many items as you possibly can from that pros and cons list. If you're not able to, then maybe this really isn't the property for you and your family, and thus you're having those feelings of possible buyer's remorse. And as you're going through this list of nice to haves and your list of needs, don't forget that many times you can do renovations to the home. So maybe the home doesn't have everything that your family wants and needs in a home, but maybe by doing some repairs, remodeling, or renovations, that home would become a property that, would work very well for you and your family. So that is an option as well. Now, another thing that could be, contributing to your feelings of uneasiness on purchasing the home could be, does it match up to your timeline? I.e., do you have a drop dead date that you have to be under contract? And if you do, are you finding the properties that meet your family's needs and your wants? And if there's not a large number of inventory on the market, then that could be contributing to the way that you are feeling about the particular buying process. So as you go through the process, make sure that, you have allocated enough time to find the right property that's going to work for you and your family. And if you're not, then maybe take a step back and determine if any of the properties that you do like that may not meet all of your needs, if any of those properties will meet your needs if you actually renovate them. And note that if by doing a renovation on any of the properties that you have seen, if that's not an option to help you with your drop dead date to be in a home, then, maybe it would be a good idea just to slow the process down. If you do have more time to actually look, then to slow that process down, allow more inventory to come on the market and, start looking again. And one of the most important things to always remember during this home buying process is to acknowledge how you are feeling. So if you are feeling uneasy about a home that, you are interested in, and it just doesn't, fit your needs, or if you don't like the area, or if it can't be renovated, then go with your gut. Maybe that is not the home for you, and the best thing to do is to continue looking. Now, by acknowledging the feelings you have on a particular home, that can tip the scales either way, either in favor of that home or against the home. But either way, one thing that you don't want to do is to go into a contract and purchase a home that you cannot see yourself living in. So if that home is not going to work for you, then step back and, take a look at, is that going to be the right property for you? And if not, then continue the process. There's nothing wrong with that. And it doesn't matter how long it takes for you and your family to be able to find that dream home. So as you go through the home buying process, just remember, listen to your gut. Ask yourself, are you having cold feet, or are you just worried about the home buying process in general? Let me tell you, you will know when you find that dream home, and you're the only one who can make the decision if that home is going to be right for you. So thank you for joining me today on what is buyer's remorse and how to overcome it. If you are interested in purchasing a home or listing your current home, please feel free to reach out to me. Again, my name is Delana Cotton with the Cotton Home Team at Virtual Properties Realty. You may reach me at 678-515-6590, or you can email me at homes@delanacotton.com. Don't forget, if you like what you see, please subscribe to my channel. There'll be more videos coming shortly. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.